Hey everyone, Karen here, and I'd just like to say, sorry I haven't been around, been dealing with just some personal stuff in my life the last couple months, and while I've been messing around, I've not been doing really serious crafting because just couldn't get into it with everything that was going on, but I needed to do stuff, so I've been making flowers, you know, bows, stuff like just little things, but I haven't done a project like my butterfly canvas. I think is the last thing I've done. So, but I had a request from a friend, Kathleen Dee, on Facebook that asked if I would do flower tutorials for her. And Dee wanted to know how, Betsy Noodle, wanted to know how, Betsy Doodle, Betsy Doodle, we call her Noodles, but her is Betsy Doodle, wanted to know how I did my paper, because I like to spray my own paper, a lot of the times, my cardstock, because, it just gets expensive to buy the cardstock that you would like to use. So I make my own. And I like to make my own. It's something that I enjoy. So I thought I would start out with how I do my paper. And then get a flower. And Kathleen, I'm sorry I did not think to ask you which flower out of that picture you saw that you would like. But we're going to go with this one today. In a different color, but this style flower today. So this, I don't think it'll be two-part, but just in case with me yammering away here, it may. So today is just how I do my paper and this flower. Okay, so I put my thing up. Okay, where can I dump my flowers at? We're in my kitchen, dining room. So yeah, my craft has spilled out to here. Finally get a craft room and I'm in the kitchen. So today I'm just using cardstock that I get from Walmart. This is actually color book, 12 by 12. A lot of times I buy 8.5 by 11s, but I knew that I wanted to do different flowers, some butterflies, and maybe even some bows out of the same paper. And like this is the paper that I did out of that blue flower I just showed, and this is the pink flower that I've already die cut that we'll make today, and this is out of 12 by 12, and you can just get more stuff out of 12 by 12 than 8.5 by 11 if you're wanting to do a theme of things at the same time, because it's really hard to get the same look more than once when you're spraying and stuff. It just is. So I wanted to do stuff on 12 by 12. So we're working on 12 by 12. As far as I know, this is thin. This is not as thick as my basil. I do have basil cardstock, or basil. I'm not sure how it's called. And the cardstock that I have is, the basil is 80 pounds. This, I believe, because it is not on here anywhere, what this paper is. But I think it's 65 pounds. And I don't know what that is in GSM for my friends overseas. Sorry, guys. But it's a thinner cardstock. But to me, it's a good cardstock for my flowers. It holds up. I am not going to waste my basil on my flowers, because that is for my mini albums. And I'm not hoarding it. I am guarding it. So I'm picky with what my basil gets used for, because it is a higher price cardstock. It's very nice, and but this embosses very well. It's not too tough, and you can crinkle it easy enough, and then flatten it back out and everything, and it still holds your wrinkles and stuff. it's not, you know, for people that might have arthritis in their hands or any kind of problems with their hands. A thinner cardstock or a lighter cardstock, however the proper way to say that is, this is good for that. You can, because you can work it to anything you want. So it's the color book, and I have the Snow White, and it says its texture, and I can feel it on one side. I can't. Yeah, I guess I can see that. This side is not. It's just on one side. And one thing about color book, like what I got 40 sheets of this. It's $5. But it does have a white core. So if you're buying, if you go and you buy their colored cardstock, and they have some beautiful pastels, bright, you know, just be aware that you are going to need some kind of ink pad that is, you know, if you want to match the color, it's going to have to be close, or you can use, you know, like I like to use Tim Holtz walnut stain on a lot of stuff, but I also like to match my ends sometimes too. So you need to be aware that you will have to, I don't know if you can see that or not, you will have to cover it or not. It's up to you what you want. But I think it gives it a more finished appearance if the white core is not showing when they're cut. Okay, so today I am, let's get my Pepsi bottle out of the way. I am going to use, where'd my stencil? Okay. I will be using, this is Lindsay's Stamp Gang. I love their stuff. I make a lot of my own colors. Like this pink, can you see that? Yeah, this pink one. This is made out of, one of the colors I used was Lindsay Stamp Gang Flat Fabio Plumera Pink. But the other one is my own homemade one, and it's Color Box Archival Dark Ink, Dark Cherry, and I use them two together. Because first thing is that I like to do a light and a dark just so your stuff stands out with whatever you're doing. Okay, so there will be a heat gun involved. Be prepared for that noise, because I do blow dry my ink dry, my paper dry. So this one is Ocean Breeze Blue, which I will put down first, and then the second one is Danny Zucco's Zuck. It's with a Z. It's not with an S. Denim. Okay, and the Flat Fabio line. Okay, I love my Lindsay. I like to make my own because it's cheaper, but I love my Lindsay's too. And I've had these for about 2 years. So, they've got to get used up, because there's just some colors in Lindsay's that I'm not even going to, I'm so fond of them. I mean, I'm just so fond of them that I'm not even going to try and reproduce the same color line, because there is, and I can't think of the name of it, but there's one of their browns I love to use to make my paper look aged, which I'm sure I could get close to, but there's just no sense in it because I love that color. So I will buy some of their stuff, and I am in love with their embossing patterns. So okay, so I'm going to spray the light color first. Ocean Breeze Blue. And I should have put gloves on. I'm going to regret this. Wait a minute. Am I still in frame, guys? I hope so. I like to spray up and away because then it doesn't do so much splatter. I don't like, that's one thing I don't like, is it splatters. I don't know why, but I don't. Okay, heat gun. spray it again just because it's too white. That's still too white for me. All over my table. That's okay. This is my outside table, so it's fine. A couple more weeks it'll be outside with the tablecloth over it that sits under my carport. We don't eat here, so don't worry about it, guys. Be careful. Now, I don't know about anybody else's heat gun, but I have an industrial one that I got from Joe. And it's meant to get really super hot. And you'll burn your paper if you get too close. And I don't know how the other heat guns are. So just, you know, be careful. Okay. See how that's flipping over? I might have waited too long. Let's see. It starts curling up on you. Flip it over. And then just go back to about being flat again. Okay. Now all I do, I'm going to have to lay it down because this is, set a bottle up on it so it lays flatter. I just use stencils for my decorations. And I can tell you already, guys, I messed up because I forgot to take a spare paper out. See, I don't care if it's all cohesive or not. My flowers, it just gives a different look, that's all. It doesn't... Try and have you a spare piece of cardstock ready. Unless you don't care and are willing to waste that, just wash it down the sink then. It will come right off your stencil. But I don't do that, so. And this will just get used. And that'll get used to something else. I'll spray maybe the lighter blue on top, or I may just finish it out in that blue and make bows out of it. For right now, go back to this, spray dry it. Okay, now, if you was going to use a Glimmer mist on this, Flat Fabios and Linda Stamp Gang, they have no shimmer in them at all. That's why they're called flat. It's just pure color. So, if you were going to use a mist, now would be your time to do it. And spray it and then blow dry it. Be careful Like I said with the heat gun, you can burn your paper, but you can burn mist. Don't ask me how I know. Alls I will tell you, it's not a pretty sight. So be careful with that. I don't plan on misting this because I know later on down the road that I am going to add glitter to some of these flowers, and to me that's just, it's a waste of mist, it's a waste of glimmer, because your glitter is just going to cover that up. So, but now would be the time, and then dry it. Okay, then after that, because this is white paper, I take whatever my lightest color is and I just go over it, and I do that for the purpose of, depending on what flowers you make, sometimes you're going to see the bottom petals on how you fold something up, and if you do that and you already have this beautiful blue color, and then you're going to have stark white, and it will show. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So I just do a light coating. I don't care if there's some white showing through. As long as there is some color coating, it doesn't seem to matter. Okay? That's something you'll have to play around with and figure out for yourselves. What you like the look of and what you don't. So it's a curling on me. Okay. And the only reason I'm bothering to dry this right now is because I've got to have somewhere to lay it. But see, it'll flatten out for the most part. And then if it doesn't, like I got some that was really warped, and Noodles told me, run it through my embossed thing. I have a Friscar fuse. So, run it through that and try that. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't bring no baby wipes. No baby wipes at all. Let me turn on my hot glue gun, guys. So, I went and got me one of these a couple months ago. It's the Sure Bonder mini detail glue gun, because it's got the very nice tiny tip. But this thing, it's so lightweight, which is nice. It makes it easy to hold, but it's so lightweight that the cord actually weighs more than the glue gun, and it tips over all the time. So I ordered one of those little glue gun holders. I think it's $5 on Amazon. I ordered one, and it's gotten lost in the mail. So they're having to ship me another one. It says that it showed up someplace in Tennessee at a post office. I have no idea where this town is at. I've never heard of it before. And when I called the post office and asked them, you know, my package had been sitting there for like 2-3 days. I said, why is it just sitting still? And they said, honey, it never came. It never arrived. Do not look at my craft mat. It's been sorely abused. So, I got a hold of the people I bought it from on Amazon, which is Supermarket, one of their dealers there, and I told them, I said, you know, well, I asked them, I said, is there by chance you can see it since you're the shipper where it's actually at? And they said no, that it was lost. So they're sending me a replacement. I'm just waiting to get it, and I'm excited to get it. So, okay. Next thing is flowers. Excuse my hands now, guys. Can't believe I forgot a thing. The flowers we're going to do today are Tim Holtz Tatter Florals. I can do a lot of different flowers with this die. It has 4 different flowers on it for anybody that doesn't have this die yet. They're different sizes, and there's just different things, a lot of different things you can create with this die. So I absolutely love this die. It's not it's not my favorite for flowers, but it is like second or third, I can tell you that much. And that's just because of I like my EK Success punch the best. But otherwise, I mean, I cut out 4 of these at once with no problem on my Friscar fuse. So, I mean, it cuts very well and the flowers are beautiful. So it's this one here, and I don't know if there's a certain name for these flowers, but it's this smaller one here that we're doing. And for anybody, this measure, if you just cut out a 2x2 inch square, it works perfect for this flower, and you don't have to worry about cutting out everything. I don't like to do that. I don't like to have flowers sitting around that, you know, because I may never want these other 3 petals in this color. So I do cut my paper out to size for my flowers. So, and then let me see. Yeah, here it is. You do need something to emboss with. This one is McGill. I bought a set of them off of Amazon. It comes in its own little thing with the tweezers. Love these tweezers. They've been to hell and back. Bless their heart. I need to get another set. But you need something to emboss with. I know people use paintbrushes. I tend to rip paper if I'm using a paintbrush. Now there is one of my flowers I do make. I actually use my palette knife, the wooden tip on my palette knife, and I love it. So, but and then these are a cheap set for China, and I actually like these. I don't use these too often for embossing the flower, but I have one that has a very skinny long tip on it out of this set, and it is great for rolling my flowers, pinching them back and stuff. So they come in handy too. So, but today I'm using this one, and this is the 6mm. This is a 2mm ball end. It does make a difference when you're embossing your flowers on the different size tips. It will matter. I'm sorry, can you say? It will matter on how it embosses the flower. So, first thing, oh, I bet they're in. Huh. Okay, guys, I'll be right back.